Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints View, the channel for Southampton content. Now it's not Southampton content we're going for today, and yes, I know I did say we were going to have a break over this international break, but pretty big game coming up at St. Mary's, and of course that doesn't involve Southampton, that does of course involve England. The England first team will be playing at St. Mary's for their next Euro 2020 qualifier on Tuesday night. Big event for the city, big event for the community, and obviously it's another game in the Euro 2020 qualifiers for England, and obviously we hope that they can win again. But before we get into the video, if you're new here, we are mainly a Southampton channel, do a few Premier League videos here and there, and maybe if this video goes well we'll do more videos when there are international breaks previewing and reviewing England's games. But make sure you're subscribed if you're new, go follow us on our socials, they'll be linked in the description below. And so yeah, let's get into the video. In all honesty, I couldn't find the last time England actually played in Southampton, but the tickets sold out very quickly, like back in like Easter time. And finally the game has come. Unfortunately I won't be going back, a few of the Saints View guys will be, so expect a matchday experience at some point in this next week. But on to England. It's been a pretty successful campaign in the Euro 2020 qualifiers thus far. 3 games played, 3 wins, 14 goals scored, 1 goal conceded. I mean, it's been pretty much the ideal start really, and they look very much set to go on and qualify for the next summer's European Championship. But there's something different about this England team. It's as if they're a bit more ruthless. I remember countless dire qualifiers where we've beat these minnows of Europe by 1 or 2 goals. We're really thrashing these sides. 14 goals scored in 3 games. You know, that's unheard of, even if these teams are like pub sides or however you want to call them. So far they beat the Czech Republic 5-0 at Wembley, they won 5-1 in Montenegro, and last Saturday they beat Bulgaria 4-0 at Wembley. And so with these sort of scorelines, international breaks aren't actually as boring as they used to be. Still very boring, don't get me wrong, obviously we prefer club football, but with England scoring goals it's a bit easier actually to get behind them and it's less frustrating. Now unfortunately there aren't any Saints players in this England squad. Ward-Prowse was never close. Redmond could have been, but of course he's got this injury, so that's a disappointment personally. But there is an ex-Southampton player who could make his England debut at St. Mary's. Well, I say ex-Southampton player, he never represented the first team, but that is Tyrone Mings. Now the Aston Villa defender came out this week about being released by Southampton as a 16-year-old, with him saying that they were justified to release him because of his height at the time. Of course now he's gone on to be 6'4", 6'5", an absolute monster. But for him on a personal level it might be nice to make his debut at a club that he could have played for, but obviously got released early on in his career. But in terms of key players, it's pretty standard. The likes of Kane, Sterling, Rashford, Jadon Sancho's getting even better, as well as Maguire at the back, Pickford in goal. It's a really solid team now that's got the core of the World Cup squad, but still a few new faces in there just to sort of freshen up the average age of the squad. You know, we're still a very young team. Now whether Southgate will rotate or not, I am not too sure. That obviously depends on him. I'd like to see a few players though. Obviously it's still a competitive game, so only 3 substitutes can be made. It's not a friendlies where unlimited roll on roll off or whatever substitutions can be made. But there are a couple in that squad that I'd like to see play. James Maddison's probably top of that list. Has deserved his first senior England cap for the last 6 months at the very least. Superb last season, very good start to the season this time around as well. Definitely deserves at least an appearance off the bench, if not a start. Nick Pope started his season well for Burnley in goal. Obviously he had a bad injury last year, so it'd be nice to see him get another appearance for the England team. Jadon Sancho was on the bench against Bulgaria on Saturday, so you'd expect him to start. I think Tyrone Mings definitely deserves a cap for his efforts last season with Aston Villa and even at the start of this season. But you know, there are very decent options in this England side, so whoever plays, it's still going to be a very, very good team. But of course, like every football match, it's not just about one side. There are 2 teams, it is football, and that other team is Kosovo. Now Kosovo are actually second in England's qualifying group, having made a really good start given the sort of scale of the country and the lack of funds that get invested into this football team. Now the country itself has a population of less than 2 million people. That sort of emphasises how tiny the nation actually is. But as a football team, like I say, they haven't actually done as badly as you may think. 8 points from 4 games, 2 wins and 2 draws. They're actually yet to be beaten in Euro 2020 qualifying. They beat the Czech Republic 2-1 at home on Saturday. They've drawn 1-1 at home with Bulgaria and then beat them 3-2 away, as well as drawing 1-1 with Montenegro. So not bad stuff at all. and you know, they're sort of battling to be the best of the rest. And what a story it would be to see Kosovo in a major international tournament. Now, I have had a look at their squad. I can't lie, I didn't recognise many faces, but there were a few names that sort of stood out to me. I recognised Muric, the Man City goalkeeper who was on loan at Nottingham Forest, Selina, who plays for Swansea, and Hadjijonai, who plays for Huddersfield. They're the only three. Everyone else couldn't tell you who they are. Of course, even though Kosovo are in good form, it should be a routine win for England. Very good options on the bench, starting. I'd like to see a little bit of rotation. It was a very strong team that came out against Bulgaria on Saturday. It's a really big occasion for the city. It's really nice to see St.Mary'S host an England game. Unfortunately, I won't be there. I'll be watching on TV though, of course. And so I think for a score prediction, I'm going to go with a 3-0 England win. Yeah, I can't see many problems going down on the night. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Do make sure you like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Like I say, we're mainly a Southampton channel, but do the occasional Premier League video here and there. And we may do some England content when there is an international break. That's obviously down to you if you like this video. Follow us on all our socials. Stay tuned, and hopefully it's a very good night for England. A good night for the city nonetheless. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.